Hi friends, my name is Bhavya Mangla. I'm IATF qualified auditor doing audit for the automotive sector for the last 18 years. I'm again back with a very interesting topic that is related to problem solving technique. And today I'm going to talk about step number 1, that how to define the problem. Well, in general, if you see all around us, we are, there are so many problems that is happening around us, and we try to find a solution to that. But the first and the most important thing is that whether we understand the problem. Say, for example, we say that I'm not feeling well today. Now, there could be different reasons for that. Maybe we have some illness, maybe our mood is not good, or maybe it could be something else. So, unless and until we can conclude that what exactly is the problem, we'll not be able to find a suitable answer to that. So, one thing which is most important is to diagnose what exactly is a problem, and only after that we can find a suitable solution. So, in problem solving technique, there are 7 key steps. The first step is about defining the problem. The second is about containment, correction, and the corrective action. The third one is root cause analysis. Fourth is implementation of corrective action. Fifth one is effectiveness evaluation. The sixth one is horizontal deployment. And the seventh one is documentation, lesson learned, and the promotion of awareness. Somebody has very rightly said that there is no use talking about the problem unless you talk about the solution. So it's very important that whenever we are talking about a problem, our focus should be to see that how to define the problem accurately so that we can get the desired solution. And the problems can be at different ends, probably the 3 key ends. One is the customer end, supplier end, or maybe the customer internal organization end. So when we talk about customer end, it can be problem related to warranty, recalls, it can be delivery issue. When we talk about supplier end, the issue can be with respect to the premium freight, quality, or delivery. When we talk about internal issue, it can be with respect to internal audit finding, maybe new product development, maybe some planning issue, maybe some internal rejection. So all those possible things can be there with respect to the rejection. Now, before going ahead with respect to the problem definition, there are certain things that needs to be taken care, and if they are taken care, then it becomes easy to define the problem. So, some of the key steps include, the first one is to differentiate the facts from the opinion. We should be very careful with respect to that. And then we need to consult all the relevant process owners who are involved for this particular information. The third one is we should try to avoid solving the problem without the data, and we should, whatever the data is there, it should be in a quantifiable term. Only then we can do that. Well, Robert Humphrey has said very interesting thing, that an undefined problem has an infinite number of solutions. So the more accurate and focused is the problem, only then things can be taken care. So I'm going to talk about Rudyard Kipling's method, wherein he has said about I keep 6 honest serving men, and through that he tried to analyze the problem so that we can define the problem in an effective way. So those 6 steps includes: what is the problem, why is the problem important, when did the problem arise, and when does it need to be solved, how did the problem happen, where is the problem occurring, and who does the problem affect. And once we identify the problem, then we need to convert into a simple statement, because if the statement is simple, then it will be easy for us to communicate to everyone, well, this is the problem and now we have to find a solution. And whenever we are defining a statement, it should be keeping in mind the customer, that what is their intent with respect to them. To talk about some of the bad examples with respect to the problem definitions, it could be as bad as noisy pump, or the gear has broken casting, or maybe some drawing datum out of specification. Now, if you see all these 3 examples, it is talking about something, but it is not giving the complete picture that what exactly the problem is. But if we put everything in the right place, then certainly there is a high possibility that we can define the problem in an effective way. So by using the Kipling method, let's define the problem in detail, assuming that there is a complaint which has come from the customer. So how we can define that problem? So the first question will be that what is the problem? So the problem can be there is a crack on the front and the part number is say ABC, maybe a particular drawing number, a particular model, and certain amount of quantity, say for example 2 pieces. Now the second question that comes is that why is the problem important? It could be because it is a repeated problem, maybe yes, maybe no, or maybe it could be related to safety, it could be a critical characteristic, or it can be a routine problem also, which is not going to impact much. The third, a very interesting question is, when did the problem arise and when does it need to be solved? So we need to talk about the date when the problem has actually come, from which shift it has come, and what could be the possible target date. Since then we need to close this particular problem. Then the next very interesting question is, how did the problem happen? Is it related to visual, fitment, function? Then who is the operator? Who is the inspector from where this particular problem has come? The next, another question is, where is the problem occurring? Is it at customer end? If it is at customer end, then which location? Maybe the customer has got two different sites, or maybe in one particular site there can be four different assembly lines. So from where this particular problem is happening? And the last and the very important question is, who does the problem affect? Is it affecting the end user? It could be the next process, or it could be the final assembly. Is it impacting the legal requirement? And there can be many more questions. And once we define, when we ask all these questions, then whatever output is coming, that can define the problem in a more correct manner. And once we put it in a single statement, then it is very easy to go to the further steps. To talk about some of the industry challenges that we are facing at this moment, so I am going to talk about two key challenges. The first key challenge, we can call it as jumping the gun. Well, Malcolm Forbes very rightly said that it is so much easier to suggest solutions when you don't know too much about the problem. So it's very important that when we are focusing on defining the problem, our main focus should be to define the problem and not to look for the solution at that particular time. And the second key challenge is with respect to misdefining the problem. Well, somebody has very rightly said about a man who was poking around a street light, and somebody asked him that what he is doing at the moment. So he said that I am looking for my keys. So that person asked him that, is it here that you lost your keys? So that person said, no, it was not here. I lost them across the street, but the light is better here. So when we are not very clear about the problem, if you are looking for a solution, there is a high possibility that will not reach anywhere. Well, if I do a summary, I talked about the Kipling method, wherein by asking 6 different questions, we can find the problem, that what exactly is the problem. And those questions are, what is the problem? Why is the problem important? When did the problem arise and when does it need to be solved? How did the problem happen? Where is the problem occurring? And who does the problem affect? Well, my next video in line with the second step of the problem solving technique, wherein I'm going to talk about correction, interim action, and what can be done with respect to it further. But regularly I'm getting a lot of feedback from your side, and they're helping me to understand your expectation. So please do continue that. And in case you want to understand about this particular video in more detail, you'll find a link there, and if you click that, you'll find a blog there, and there you'll find this particular information in much more detail. And in case you're liking these kind of videos and blogs, you can always share with your friends and colleagues, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and my website, bhavyamangala.com. Thank you.